What's up, Matt from MerchFab. Today I'm going to be carrying on with the bike build. I need to get the rear sprocket on the back wheel moved over a bit, and then I want to get the wheel in, chain on, make some chain adjusters to tension it, and I need to make some adjustments to the engine mounts on the front. So these mounts here are right in the way of where this exhaust comes down, hits straight into this piece. These really should have come from in here and sort of come in at an angle, but I was just being lazy, to be honest. So I need to cut this off, drill through it, tap it, and then have a kinked bracket on both sides. That's actually going to triangulate that, and it'll be a bit better, a bit more of a rigid way of doing it, and then that'll give the clearance for this exhaust pipe to come down. Also, with the bike sat clamped to the bench like that, I can pull on this wheel and flex the top of this neck over where it's sort of where this wheel's pushing against here. I can force this wheel over and just see how it's flexing the frame. And it's pretty rigid apart from here. You can see just on the inside of this neck. I'm not sure if you can really probably see it on there, but when you eyeball down through here, you can see that it's flexing there. So I'm going to make a mount, or I might make two mounts from the top of the engine, just tying the top of this frame into the engine, so the engine's holding the top as well, because obviously it's holding it nice and securely at the bottom. And then this is all rigid from from that point there up to this point here. None of that can move anywhere, whereas the top of this isn't really, you know, supported. And just the nature of making it like this is you're going to have some planes of this that are going to be very rigid and some planes that aren't, and that's just the nature of the design, which is why you generally don't see it done like this. A piece of tube, if it doesn't have a welded seam in it, has the same strength in whichever direction you bend it in, whereas something like this doesn't. So if you imagine like an RSJ, if you pick an RSJ up with one person on each end and you pick it up in the plane that it's designed to sit in, it'll stay dead flat. If you flip it over on its side and pick it up, it'll bow in the middle because it's designed to be rigid in that plane, and that's the same as doing something like this really. It's you know, it's never going to be ideal. That's why tube is generally what's used. That's what we got going on here. I think it's very rigid in some ways, and we just got a little bit of flex here, but a bracket from the top of this engine to here will fix that. And I might even put one on the back here, and I've just lined up the coil pack just to see where that's going to sit. I can drill and tap the frame there, and then we just need to make a little tab to come down and locate this bottom one. Alright, so I've got a 4-jaw chuck here, which is going to work. Anything I don't have is the key for it, but I've got one of these that fits, so that's alright. We can make do with that. Only issue with it is it's all rusty. This is what every bit of that lathe looked like when I got the lathe. So I'm going to have to quickly give this a bit of a clean. It's a nice chuck, super smooth. Let's get it fitted on. Yep, that just happened. Fell off the table and smashed the casing on the side. I thought I had some clamps on it, but I didn't. Luckily that box down there, that it kind of landed with the fork and clamp on there, and that kind of broke its fall a bit. I was lucky that all the damage it did was that, because all the casings behind it are fine, so I just have to try and find one of those, which is probably like rocking on a Got loads of clearance for the chain. Can't slap on anything. So I just need a slightly longer bolt so I can get a lock nut on the other side of that. And then I'm just going to turn the threads off of the end of that bolt just to the outside of that little lip on the wheel, just to make sure there is clearance, but other than that, that's pretty happy with that. I'm not sure why anyone would bother putting them on the outside when you can just hide them in there out the way. That has completely got rid of any movement there was. There's nothing now. So that's good. I'm going to sort these bottom ones out now. So you can see what the problem was with how that mount was coming out. So I'm going to cut these, and I want to bring these up so that they sit above the bottom of the frame. I want the frame to be the lowest part, so I'm going to take probably like nearly 2 inches out of this down piece and just get them so that they sit nice and straight. Still got to cut that other side and do that other mount, but I'm going to take it off the bench again. Try not to knock it off again. Pretty gutted about that. But these things do happen. There's absolutely no movement in any of it. Like, you're never really going to put that kind of force on the bike while you're riding it anyway, of actually like twisting the two things together, but these have taken out any flex there was is now completely gone, so that's good. That's going to be it for this one. Cheers for watching. See you on the next one.